This woman has decided to retire at 42. Let's see how she did it.
You've probably been taught to save your whole life. In fact, I'm willing to bet that you feel good about yourself when you're able to save and bad about yourself when you don't. Because saving is one of the biggest personal finance messages that we all hear. But what if I told you to stop saving? Welcome back to my channel where we're building wealth to live life on our own terms, one money move at a time. Today I'm sharing what I do instead of just saving and why you should do it too. If you want to shave years off your retirement journey, you're in the right place. I'm Rami, an investor on track to retire in my early 40s, and I'm sharing all of my tips to fast track your way to financial freedom without sacrificing the luxuries you care about along the way. So let's get into it. Save, right? Saving is good. But when are you actually doing yourself a disservice? Given the current state of the economy and how much uncertainty there is, a lot of people are doing what's called revenge saving. Revenge saving is when you save much more than usual because you're uncertain about what the future holds. It's also about reclaiming your power after you've been vulnerable or felt out of control with your finances. So there's a lot of psychology behind it. There are a few reasons why this is happening. There are a lot of layoffs going on, inflation's still not where we want it to be, and people are burnt out after years of overspending post-pandemic. It's actually the exact opposite of what we saw after the pandemic, when people started spending more on travel, dining out.
Isn't that crazy? Like, literally when inflation, when you know, the C word was spreading, people decided to spend more because, you know, they were getting money from the government. It was to stimulate the economy. But now things have completely shifted to where people are like, no, I have to save because I was spending way too much back then. And it wasn't even that long ago, so it's crazy.
And buying things that we missed when we were stuck inside. According to Investopedia, American savings rate has gone from 4.1% to 4.9%. And 37% of Americans reported saving more in the last few months. Even households earning more than $200,000 a year are feeling the pinch. They're reducing non-essential purchases and travel budgets from 2024 numbers. And this is good news. People aren't spending frivolously, and there's a raised consciousness about personal finance. While it's great that as a society we aren't blowing through our budgets, what we do with that extra money is super important. But saving is necessary, right? It is. Everyone should have around 6 months of expenses in an emergency fund and 5% of their expenses in a miscellaneous fund. That will help you cover your bills in case you lose your income and cover unexpected expenses that you didn't plan for.
And it causes so much stress if you don't have that in place. Like, at least, you know, ideally 6. If you can do 12, that's great. You know, you have a year under your belt before things really, you know, hit the fan.
One of my friends lives in New York City, and a couple weeks ago, rats chewed through her tires, which meant she needed to buy new tires that she didn't plan for on the spot. That's what this miscellaneous fund is for. If you continue to dip into your emergency fund when miscellaneous expenses pop up, you may not have much of an emergency fund if you, say, get laid off, for example. So it's super important to do both. But what's more important to know is that you cannot save your way to wealth. But before we talk about what you should do instead, let's talk about where to park those funds. For years, I kept my money in a traditional savings account that got me 0.5% interest. I left thousands of dollars on the table over the years by not having my money in a high yield savings account. If you have your savings in a traditional bank, it's only growing by pennies on the dollar. You're not even beating inflation. I recommend a high yield savings account to make sure you're maximizing your return. Let's say Bob has $25,000 that he puts in a traditional bank. Sally has $25,000 that she puts in a high yield savings account. They both don't add another dollar to their savings for 5 years. At the end of 5 years, Bob has $631 and Sally has $7,000. Sally didn't put in any extra work. She just put her money in the right place. A few years.
That is crazy. Like, to literally do no extra work, but you have one person who's literally making less. It's literally just like you not doing the research. So it shows how important it is to put that money in the right place.
My husband and I's high yield savings account interest paid for us to go on vacation. I'm gonna recommend that high yield savings account every time. But even though a high yield savings account is better than keeping your money in a traditional bank, I'll say it again, you cannot save your way to wealth. So once you've funded your emergency fund and your miscellaneous fund, stop saving and invest instead. Picture this, instead of just putting $250 into a savings account every month, you invest in an index fund instead. You have $100,000 in 15 years. That's $60,000 more than you would have had by putting your money in a traditional bank and $40,000 more than you would have had by putting it in a high yield savings account. And the good news is you didn't do anything extra, you were just smarter about where you put your money. Use that revenge saving mindset as fuel for future you.
Yeah, and that's why too, I think it's so important to at least start somewhere, you know, because it's like people are kind of hesitant to just start and maybe invest the money. But I love how passive it is, right? And that you can just put that money away and, you know, let it compound over time. And it's not like, you know, other places where, you know, if it's real estate or you're putting your money somewhere to where you actually have to think about it. You know, these are, you can just park that money away and it's going to grow.
You've built the discipline and that extra cash reserve, and now it's time to make your money work for you. 80% of wealthy Americans own stocks. Do you? The rich don't just save, they make their money work. I have a friend who is terrified of the stock market. He hoards cash because he's so afraid of losing money. But you know what the sad reality is? He is losing money to the quiet thief of inflation. And he's facing a real opportunity cost of not building for the future by not putting his money in the right places. Earlier this
Man, she's saying the truth, right? Because you just, like, literally, you lose if there is no saving, right? It's literally you're losing. You're not, because you're not, I mean, unless you're beating out inflation, which, right, like she mentioned, a lot of the banks aren't, then you're literally losing. So it's like you can either grow or you can lose, but there is no staying in the middle.
This year, a lot of people were panic selling their stocks because of economic uncertainty. I know you've heard of the ongoing tariff saga, but guess what? The markets have already bounced back. The S&P 500 is at a near all-time high after falling 19% just a few months ago. Markets always recover, and that should make you feel safe investing in the stock market for the long term. But I know it can be daunting to get started, which is why I recommend a robo-investor. Years ago, I had no idea how to begin. My expertise was in real estate, but I wanted to diversify and take advantage of stock market returns as well. But I did it the wrong way. Don't be like me. I made a Robinhood account, I had no idea what I was doing, and I tried to become a day trader and pick individual stocks without any real knowledge of what I was doing. I would buy and sell based on random trends. It didn't end well. Instead, I recommend a robo-investor that'll do the heavy lifting for you. Instead of you picking different stocks or trying to figure out what to invest in, you choose an investment persona. And based on your goals, your risk tolerance, and how aggressive you want to be, it invests your money for you. My husband started passively investing $250 a month 7 years ago into his Acorns account. Today, he has almost $60,000 in that account. No heavy lifting, no picking individual stocks, just discipline and commitment. And that can be your story too. It doesn't take much to get started, but it does take discipline. Remember, our goal is freedom. Yes, this is a more uncertain and
Now that's interesting, robo investing. I mean, I haven't heard too many people that have done that, but I'd be curious. I mean, it seems like for the person that she mentioned in this video is working
environment than we've
pretty
seen
well.
in the past, but the goal remains the same. So be smart about your money. If you're in an era of saving, that's great. You're already setting such a solid foundation by allowing yourself to have extra money to actually fuel your future. Investing that money can make all the difference so that future you has the opportunity to choose how you spend your time. Let me know how you're giving yourself options for the future.
If you like learning about money and finance, click this video on the screen.